welcome back to episode 3 of
two.
So 2.
We literally.
Sorry.
Got it? No, that's fine.
Okay.
Just keep going.
Episode 2 of Spill the Azuki, where we're gonna talk about COVID-19 in Tokyo. And today's podcast is with Anya,
Michiko,
Kat,
Sonakshi, Susan,
and Dirika.
Yay!
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 I sound so dead.
We just had a week of like exams, finishing our Hiiiiiii, which is a 4,000 word essay. So we're kind of tired and
First draft.
drained, but you know, it's okay.
It's okay.
We'll get through it.
It'll be
And,
interesting to get back to regular school. But
yeah, it
anyways,
would be.
Well,
We wanted to talk about coronavirus and coronavirus in
it's
Japan.
like in Japan, like how it started, when it started, stuff like that.
I think it all started in March-ish, right?
No, it started.
I mean,
in,
no,
Before that.
yeah,
January.
like, yeah, and then it just peaked around.
It's
May?
peaking like right now.
No, like the
Really?
first one.
Oh yeah, May-ish.
It didn't
And
start
then-
before
But it
yeah,
peaked
because
in
there
May.
was the
Oh, peak, sorry.
Yokohama port thing with the boat, the Diamond Princess.
Oh, yeah, there was.
where I think 600 people got infected.
Yeah.
That was when it first started, and then it kind of just got
When
worse
was
from
that?
there. I think it's like February, January.
March, around that. Honestly, I haven't. It just
I can't
feels
keep
like.
track.
Yeah, it just
keep track
feels like
time
it's been
anymore.
March every month or something.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe it's gonna be September, like, what, tomorrow?
Yeah,
How is that possible?
I have no idea. Every day's
To be
kind of
honest-
just like blending together now.
Yeah.
like the whole quarantine thing in Tokyo started like April, right?
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
kind of feels like it started earlier. Like April feels
Yeah.
like it was too late for me. Like it feels like, are you sure wasn't it March? But no, it was April.
Yeah.
Because
I
our
feel like-
school closed in April, like beginning.
Yeah.
Our school closed in late February, and then we came back in a week in March.
Oh.
And then after that,
Right,
Also, it was
right.
February.
it was.
Oh, no
Yeah.
wonder. Okay. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
more sense.
I mean, Japan was fast with. I mean, okay, maybe not necessarily, but I think my family was fast with like self-quarantining. Like, even though the government didn't say anything directly, we just kind of quarantined by ourselves. So
Smart.
that was
Yeah.
quick. And then we didn't have school for like 2 months.
Yeah.
2 months
I feel
more? Yeah.
Yeah, because in late February, the government issued not the state of emergency, but they asked all schools to close.
Yeah.
Which is why our school closed. But then they asked us to come back, which is like really strange. It was only for a week though, and then
Yeah.
they just
Right before spring break.
It was a really nice week though, not gonna lie.
It was. They
was
gave us
super
a lot
chill.
more freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was so pointless.
Yeah.
it was,
But it looked like going to school
Yeah.
without any of the other grades there.
it was
Yeah.
quiet. It was
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah, it was so peaceful.
It
We had
was.
the whole school to ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we had online school like the entire time.
Mhm.
Distance. I don't,
Distance learning.
Yeah.
Distance learning.
Which it was weird, staying home like every single day, sitting in like the same place
Yeah.
every single day. And
Yeah.
I have like not my head, but my eyes are really sensitive. So I had like a headache on a daily basis and I hated it. But except for that, it was kind of fine.
Me and Anna, we were approached by these TV reporters, news reporters, not news reporters, but TV people, and they interviewed us. No, they didn't interview us, but they asked us, has our eyesight gotten worse because we've been staring at a computer too long or something? Which is
Oh,
actually
imagine.
false. that doesn't happen. It's just you get eye strains. So like
Yeah.
technically, but we said no. But Anna lied. Anna said her eyes had gotten worse. She just didn't want to do the interview. When it first started, yeah.
No, I have nothing to say. Sorry, Yurika. Wait, who said when it first started?
Oh, that was me.
Oh.
When it first started, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, this is gonna blow over. It's not a big deal because I didn't think that many people were getting infected, and I didn't think it was that contagious or even that bad at all. I was like, oh well, like after like a month or so, it'll be gone. Like, don't worry, it's not a huge deal.
Yeah,
here we are. Like,
I feel like the government is kind of half responsible for like enforcing that idea onto the people because they themselves weren't that serious.
For sure. The Japanese government was very slow in acting, and even now it's just, I don't know. I'm not following it to the T like very precisely, but it seems like they care more about the economy than social well-being.
And it takes so much time for them to decide on one single thing.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Slow.
In Japan, like, so they call the state of emergency, but they can't. Within Japanese law, they can't go under lockdown. Like each prefecture, I think, can't like just go under lockdown.
I think
It has to do with
businesses. Like they can't force businesses to close.
Yeah.
So it goes like, oh, please close your shop, not close your shop. I mean, everybody listens. So sorry.
Like, I think the lockdown, it has to do with like when I don't really know the full detail, but I heard that it has to do with like the freedom of the people or whatever. And like since Japan's like a democracy, then they can't force people to do like certain
Like it's more like I think Japan has some sort of not regulation, but like they already have like this sort of legislation of not being able to force
like after
their citizens to do stuff.
After World War, they were like, we want it to be peaceful and we want it to be about the people and stuff. So they were like, we're not going to force anybody to do anything. Like, it's your choice. But we would highly recommend it, kind of.
They just like to ask people.
Yeah.
Well, that can lead to a lot of, topic of discussions about social issues in Japan. But anyways, staying on COVID.
I think it's given that we're always just going to have 100 to 200 cases per day at this point. Because Japan's not going to like declare like another state of emergency anymore, because that just plummeted the economy so bad. It's like our GDP like went down so much, and unemployment rate like rose a lot, and it's just they're not going to risk doing more damage than there already is. So I feel like the government is sacrificing just a couple of 100 cases per day just so that like the economy doesn't like completely collapse, which like
the thing with
it's kind of sad.
I mean, I think a lot of countries doing that. New Zealand though did an excellent job.
New Zealand
has 0 cases.
Yeah.
Taiwan, no cases per day.
That was
imagine that.
What a dream.
I saw the meme. Yeah. Oh yeah, they don't.
Especially at the beginning, they didn't.
In April, when it was peaking, actually, they only tested about 300 people in Japan, and the positivity rate was about 30%, which means like it doesn't seem like a lot surface level. It was like probably like 20 people or something. Wait.
Yeah. I mean, the percentage of positivity that's not positivity, like positive cases. The percentage of positive cases were probably pretty high, or probably are still pretty high. Maybe
it's about 4% right now, which is pretty low actually.
But I was going to say it's probably pretty high, or it's fairly high, because they are not testing everybody. They're only testing people who are likely to have it, and especially right now, if one person in an area had it, then like out of like one person who went to a nightclub or something, if they had it, then they test everybody who was at the nightclub.
Yeah.
So,
They're actually really strict with testing. Like, you have to meet a very, like, certain requirement to get tested, and it's stupid. Like,
you know,
you have to have multiple symptoms, and you have to have been overseas in, like, the last 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
Which is kind of stupid. Whatever.
yeah, it's kind of dumb since I'm sure Japan is one of the higher ones than the UK. But
I think
apparently,
though, yeah.
I'm sorry. Apparently, in Sweden, like they're like their approach is just kind of like if you die, you die. They're not really like if they're not really like what is it? Checking? Not checking. Gosh, brain fart. What's the word when you check patients?
Exactly.
Oh, treat
patients.
I mean, treat patients. They're not really treating patients, I think. Don't quote me on this. But, I mean, I think there's like up to a certain age, they're not really treating you much.
What?
So,
I mean,
and
we're
like,
definitely like at it. We're really like privileged. We're really privileged and lucky to be like in a country where like medicine is really
high quality and so good.
yeah. I mean, it's in Japanese, but like
in India, it's like there's a lot of hospitals, but then the hospital care isn't that good. So only like people like that have money can go like what's the thing where you admit yourself? Yeah. They and like people like so in my grandparents' apartment, like a family got corona, and it's like there's.
Why did you say it with such a Japanese accent?
Corona, like so it's like 60-year-old, like my grandparents' age, like 60-year-old, and their parents, so they're like 90.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 people got corona.
Sorry.
And like they have to stay at home because there's not enough rooms in the hospital.
Yeah,
and they're like,
India is pretty bad.
Yeah,
like
it's like because it's so like it's a poor country. It's like
populated.
It's just a poor country, and it's so populated. And like there's people that live on the streets. Like you go there and there's people just living on the streets, and probably more likely to get corona than people that are have proper housing and stuff. So
that's true.
Yeah, you don't really. I mean, I don't really hear much about basically non-HICs, non-high income countries. Like I always hear stuff about like the U.S. and obviously Japan, because I'm in Japan, and then Italy, because Italy was like one of the first countries to be. Whoops.
I mean, France got better for a while, and then it's now starting to get worse again. So it's just it just seems like to be like a never-ending cycle. Although on that note, you know how like there's a lot of conspiracy theories like behind the virus itself, which I'm like really interested in, honestly, because when you look at the numbers, like Japan, despite like over 1,000 cases close to 1,000 cases per day, like throughout like the whole country, it's like the number of people who gets like the heavy symptoms, like the really gets like severe, like severely affected. The ratio for that is like really low in comparison to like other countries, which I'm like really impressed about.
They say it's about like the genetic makeup or something that Japanese people have that prevents them from developing a severe symptoms.
Wow, that's very interesting.
So it's like so interesting. And it's because I mean, like you just see the numbers and you can kind of like you can immediately tell that like for some reason Asian countries have just like been like seemingly more immune to it more than Western countries, which is so interesting.
I think there's also somewhere along the mutations of corona, didn't it like mutated 2 different types, like the Western type.
It did.
And then the type that stayed in the Asian area. I think that's why this probably has something to do with the different severity or different symptoms.
Isn't that why, like...
Corona is so smart. That's crazy.
It is.
How smart it is.
Honestly, viruses are all smart.
It's
Yeah,
true.
viruses, like viruses try to, like, their only way to, like, survive is, like, survive with us, right? So they develop, they adopt, they mutate to, like, stay on us for a longer period of time, and, like, and they also live if we don't die, so technically they'll start to, like, mutate into a less severe virus, and, like, I guess that's gonna happen in the future for Corona, I guess. But
That is so interesting.
right?
Yeah.
But is it
'Cause,
the
like-
Japanese, patients with severe symptoms kind of increasing nowadays?
Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah,
like,
just-
even
yeah.
saying it in the
Low.
news where before they used to like not hide it, but they didn't really like say it. They just
Yeah, no,
focus
I
on
think...
the death rates and the people who got the symptoms. But now they're starting to like realize that that's not the most. Those aren't the most important factors. But then they should instead focus on the severity affected, and it's like increasing. So they're like, oh shit. They're like, oh wait. They're like, oh crap.
They
But-
they differentiated the symptoms.
Sorry.
It's fine. They started to, like, you know, like, if I use really baby terms because I don't know any sophisticated English,
Yes,
they listed out all the symptoms or something, and they like rearranged what's considered like really heavy symptoms and really light symptoms. And because of that change, it kind of like the number of like severe people, like the number of affected people just changed. And I think that's why there's a lot of heavily impacted like people in Osaka more than Tokyo, because Osaka isn't hiding much as Tokyo is.
I sort of know.
Hence a lot of like
What do you mean hiding?
like
They're not disclosing the numbers.
Oh.
yeah.
So they
Disclosing
are
it
disclosing the numbers.
For the first time, I'm looking up to Osaka, which doesn't happen a lot. So whatever.
I mean, a
love
lot
Osaka.
of things that Tokyo says is really contradicting. They're like, they show like a sudden increase in numbers, and they're like, oh no, that's just because we didn't, like, we're just testing a lot more people. Then it's like, then it brings up the question, why didn't you do that in the beginning?
Yeah.
Are the numbers in the beginning
things are-
all fake? You know, so
Doesn't
it's
make
like
sense.
they're trying to cover up their tracks, but then they're kind of like looking at it.
If they're testing more people and more people are being positive, then maybe should suggest that we should be testing more people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, especially if you test more people, then maybe the positive rate, I don't know, will decrease, and then that might make you look like better. So
Yeah.
It's like it might be a win-win.
yeah, it might actually be better if you want to look better, then maybe test more people so there's more negatives to take away the
best
positives.
policy, kids.
And
Yeah.
people would stay home more because they're like, oh crap, there's more people. Like
Yeah.
the surface level.
Like right now, people just don't care. Like I see people on the train and they're like, it doesn't even matter anymore. Like there's so many people on the train. Like there's people like in Shibuya hanging out. Like people just
You know,
don't
though?
care anymore. They're so over it.
I saw
On
some
that
dude
note-
take off his mask to sneeze.
Oh,
And I
my
just-
Oh my
God.
god.
People do that.
no
It's
one
so
was in the
weird.
area. I mean, it was only me, and I stopped obviously before I got near him. But like apparently people do that because they don't want to sneeze in their masks, even though that's the whole point of the mask. Please wear your masks.
Like, people have
Wear
their
your
mask on.
masks.
They pull it down. They cough, and then they put it back on. And I'm like, what? What's the problem? Why would they do that?
Disgusting.
The whole point of a mask is to prevent people from doing that.
And if anything,
I know.
the cough is less like it's just air in your mask. Whereas a sneeze, I get it, like, to an extent, because it was, you know.
No, but sneeze is more dangerous.
Still, I know it's more dangerous, so don't take it off. And this, again, the whole point of the mask is to catch all your schmush, all your stuff out of your face. So, like, wear your masks.
You know,
it's like what Michiko said. Like,
yeah.
Nothing. Like,
No,
people
what did I
are just
say?
like starting to, like, they just. Like, it's not just the government, but it's also the people. They're just, like, learning to just, like, live with corona.
Yeah.
It's, like, part of their life. It's, like, starting to become, like, influenza, where people they just, like, go on with their lives, not really caring much. If they get it, then they get it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that sucks for them.
It
But,
should be like that.
That's Sweden.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like that.
But at the end of the day,
it's not that bad. I mean,
wait, what's not that
It
bad?
is bad.
like for most people, they're either asymptomatic or very mild symptoms.
No, but the thing is, like, even if you, the thing is, isn't it? It's the aftermath that's really bad. Like, even if you recover from it, the effects still remain. Your lungs are still weaker than they were before. It's hard.
There's a chance that you could be one of those people who, like, develop really severe symptoms.
Yeah.
But,
You know, though, it's like corona is like, again, like Kat said, it's so smart in a way that you just see so many people, like in Japan, you know, you just see because, like, you know, we've personally experienced seeing people without masks or, like, seeing people just not care at all, right? Yet there's so little number of positive cases in comparison to the entire population, which makes you think, again, like, how does this virus actually work? Like, it's so impressive in a way, because, like, I'm like, I've probably been sneezed on, like, 3 times in the past week, but...
Make sure get away from it.
Okay, I mean, not the past week, but, like, because I was in school the past week, but it's just, before that, you know, you feel for a second, I get really scared because I feel like someone with corona just, like, coughed on me or sneezed on me, but then 2 weeks passes by and I'm fine and my parents are fine, and I'm just like, what was that? Like, it's so interesting.
Isn't the 2 weeks thing, like, an undershoot? I don't know if that's the right word. Sorry. Wait, you can probably hear the road. I'm outside.
Overshoot?
Or they might have sneezed on you, but it didn't go inside your body.
Yeah,
Okay, wait,
just
don't,
like
can you not say like that? That sounds so gross. It didn't. Oh.
Like if it landed on your
what you
hand and you didn't rub
That's
your
like-
eyes.
No, yeah,
Like,
but
I tried
that's
to
like,
visualize that, like, automatically, and that was just not pretty. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to see that.
I've probably passed, like, people with corona, but, like,
no,
not
but
gotten
that's the really, like, interesting thing.
like on the
Like,
train
I
or
mean,
something.
it's bad to say interesting because it's not, like, impressive, it's not good or anything,
I mean,
but it's really interesting because
scientifically.
I've probably passed by so many corona patients or, like, just infected people, but
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly don't know if I have it or not. You know, I might have it, but that's the thing. I still don't know that too because
I mean,
I
you
don't
should get
at least
antibody
have
tests.
the symptoms.
But
And
that's why I think that that's also, like, Sweden's approach. Or, like, you know, how I think Sujin was saying how we shouldn't look at corona like it's just a flu, and yeah, we shouldn't, because it's much more deadly and the effects are much more severe, and, like, the aftermath, like I said, it's you know, it's harmful.
Wait,
But at the end of the day, like, we're not going to get rid of it, right? We can't, like,
yeah,
it's a virus, it's going to live with us, so unless it adapts to, like, what Sujin said, where it's going to be less weak so they can live on, I don't know.
actually,
Maybe
actually,
our
that
bodies
doesn't
will
happen.
become.
I think
bodies will
influenza is way more deadly than corona in Japan.
Oh, apparently the number of influenza cases went down this year.
Oh yeah, it
Because
did.
Obviously people are quarantining and everything, which makes sense.
Which, I mean,
But-
I don't know. It's I
Like, I don't-
definitely look at influenza very, like, not severely. Like, I find I get influenza, honestly, on, like, a yearly basis.
Yeah.
And
Like, no one takes influenza seriously unless you have maybe a baby or
like,
something.
yeah, like, I get influenza despite having the vaccine, which, like, of course it happens, and the symptoms get, like, you know, better, but still.
But the flu still kills people. The seasonal
Yeah.
flu still kills like
Yeah.
so many people every year.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I think one day, I don't want to hope anything. In truth, I hope it goes away. But it's a virus. You can't just make it go away. So,
well, I mean,
can you?
you
I
can.
mean, the bubonic plague came
No,
back.
you can't.
Like, you know.
I mean, if you really tried, you can't because.
What's the point of doing that?
But I mean,
You
isn't
just
it like
live with it.
no? But isn't everything COVID? Isn't everything a corona? Like, isn't the flu corona as well? It's just a different mutation of corona. Like, they all come from the same thing. So even if you eliminate one type of corona, if it remutates back into that form or a form like even more harmful,
Yeah.
then
I think
I don't know.
at the end, like with this case, like with this new virus, we honestly just need a vaccine quickly for it to just not like
Yeah.
impact so many people. But like at the end of the day, there will be new pandemics sometime in our lives, and
Which I hope
there will
not.
be like, I mean, yeah, we hope not, but like new viruses are like created, not created, but then they're like mutated on like a daily basis, you know.
Yeah.
There's like so many viruses that we don't know that exist. So
Yeah.
it's just the only thing we can do is how we deal with it in the future,
Yeah.
which is like, I mean, I don't know, like, I don't want to blame it all on the government because it's definitely like there's so many factors that like makes me think that corona got worse because of like the Japanese citizens.
Mm.
And
It's definitely
like
it's both the citizens and the government.
yeah.
Efforts and like cooperation to.
I'm really glad that we've already had like this culture of wearing masks all the time,
Same.
regardless of what it is. Like literally every Japanese always like had a mask on. Honestly, it always made me wonder why they were all wearing a mask all the time. It's like,
Wasn't it because
they don't want to stand
flying
out.
dust? And, oh yeah. That's
Well, no, there's different reasons. It's either for fashion or it's because you
Yeah.
don't want to get sick. Whereas,
I mean,
in the Western world, usually if you wear a mask, it means you're sick and you're not trying to give it to others. But in Japan, it's seen as a way to prevent getting sick rather than being already sick.
It's also
No,
like the
you
culture,
can't
the
just
way
wear it.
the Japanese people.
No, that's what I'm saying.
because
It's either fashion or that.
It's not fashion. It's the people who like literally want to hide their face. I
Okay,
I
that's
actually read about
true.
this, and
It's like
it's
fashion.
like 30% of people
Don't want to
wear
wear makeup, and then like
Like, people just don't want to stand out.
insecurity.
That's it. It's kind of sad, actually. But I mean, I
It
guess
must be
it's
easy to
also-
be a celebrity then. Everyone's
Yeah.
wearing.
yeah,
oh yeah, that's true.
Celebrities must be happy right now because they can probably go out and like not get recognized for once in their life, and
And like not have to talk to people.
yeah, and just like have their own be normal again.
It's like being human, honestly, though, because like every single one of us have like different thought processes. We all have different feelings. We interpret things differently. So it honestly just shows that we are human because there's so many people who's just handling this situation so differently.
Yeah.
Which is, again, for someone who's really interested in like looking at behavior, it's really interesting, but at the same time it just pisses you off because like it's like we all have like one like okay, so the thing is I really like economics too, so I really understand the way how the government like really wants to prevent the economy from like collapsing and stuff.
Yeah.
So I really like if I knew I was safe and if I like had the ability to, I would try to go out, consume stuff, use my money, do that so that the economy can run well and stuff. I want people to use money. I want people to make sure that the economy keeps on running, and I hope our economy still maintains its level, because an economy collapsing is not good for anyone. That's like the obvious, but I want people to do that in like a mannerly way by like properly wearing their mask, using hand sanitizers, not speaking so not loudly, but you know how like, you know, just to make sure that like what is it called, like air droplets don't just like, you know, shoot
the
out
good
everywhere.
thing about like
Just
in
stay
Japan,
informed.
in Japan, like over there's a culture to like, you know, wear the mask, but also speak quietly, or like
Yeah.
you know, that personal
There's
space
no
in public
physical
spaces.
contact.
you know,
That.
it's not. Whereas in foreign like Western countries, if people may be louder or more in contact. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
definitely
like,
being a foreigner here, I recognize I'm way louder usually. So
That's the
I like, you know, you meet someone new, and I feel like in foreign countries they might, you know, kiss each other's cheeks or hug or whatever.
Wait,
and like
kiss each other's cheek is, I mean, okay, I don't know about all European countries, but it's more like just tapping your cheek on one another and making the little sound. But you know, because when you say kiss each other's cheek,
kiss. No.
But yeah, or like they would
like,
hug, and
that would never happen in Japan, you know.
No, you would
like,
politely bow from like a 2-meter distance to start with.
Yeah. And that was like before this happened. So it's like
it's just culture.
Yeah.
But like, because I feel like if I said, like, you know, right now, if I said that I go to Starbucks every once in a while, like a couple of you might be like really surprised, stuff like that. But it's like, literally, one, no one talks.
Yeah.
Two, everyone is like more than a meter away, and I mean, it's just no one talks. It's pretty nice when you think about it. And I feel like you have to make those you have to make those kind of decisions, and also somewhat of a sacrifice in order to keep the economy moving. Like, what shouldn't happen is people going to nightclubs. Yeah. Like, that shouldn't be the way the economy should be working.
For cost-benefit situation.
Yeah.
For like coffee shops and stuff, I feel like if you still want to go, and like we said, to also help out the economy, try to do takeout. But if you really like can't, like, you know, obviously people go to coffee shops to study or do work and stuff, and if you really can't focus at home, then I guess yes. But I mean, if you can, I would say try to stay at home as much as possible. Like, to do takeout if you still want that coffee.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did too. Like, when I was studying for this week's test, like last week's test, I knew I wasn't going to do my best if I was just home every like minute. So I was like, I'm going to sacrifice my body. And I went to Starbucks and I studied there. And like, I would make a cautious decision to go like to like the very back of the shop, so that it's like, so that no one's, you know, like if people are talking, it's behind me or something, so that I'm not like, my face isn't like
facing them.
Yeah, facing them. And
let's see.
And it's like those, you know, it's like those small
little
things.
Precautions.
Yeah. And I hope like that's what everyone's doing too. Like, I hope, because like for me, like I mean, if I had corona, I wouldn't want to give it to other people too. So even if I, you know, because I might have one right now, I might have it right now, I wouldn't know. So even if I went to like a cafe or whatever, I wouldn't, you know, have my mask off all the time or whatever. I'll keep like all the viruses to myself as much as possible.
That's the thing. Even when you hang out with your friends, like, you keep your mask on. That's just,
yeah.
What you do.
And I think, like, for example, yesterday, so all the biology people here would know, but we have this like small activity to like hunt for animals, not like actually hunt, but like we have to take a picture and talk about, you know, their phylums and those kind of stuff. But I went to a park to do that yesterday, and I think yesterday was like one of the hottest days in Tokyo, like this year or whatever. It was so hot, and like when that happens, I had to like go to a cafe and just sit down for like 10 minutes and like make sure that I'm like drinking enough so that I don't like die of like, what is it called? What's nichusho in English?
Heat stroke.
Yeah, heat stroke. Yeah.
I mean, you could have also gone to a vending machine.
Oh no, I could have. No, but like the outside was just way too hot. Like
I was to be indoors. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to go into like a grocery store or whatever, but like the grocery store there was a lot of people, so I just like went around looking for somewhere like, you know, less crowded so that I could just sit down and like, you know, take a breath and whatever. So heat in Tokyo is really making people like not wear masks too.
Oh yeah, because people don't want to. When they eat, because my family, when we go out, we always eat outside, but nobody wants to eat outside because it's like it feels like 40 degrees because it's humid. It's so humid. It actually says it on the weather app, which is about like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It's so hot, and everybody wants to go inside. Yes, for those.
Yeah, today it feels like 42, but it's 34.
So that's
and the thing is, even after the sunset, even when the sun's down, even when it's dark, it's still hot. So because also the heat island effect. We're in the center of Tokyo, so
urban heat island effect.
Yes.
And the roads are black.
Exactly.
Which absorbs more heat.
But that's why there's mitigation strategies.
Like painting the roads white.
Yeah. Or like there's this thing called uchimizu where you spray water onto the area, the roads. Yeah. Strategically placing buildings to make sure airflow happens.
Geography.
Yeah. I'm like
can't relate as an econ student.
Yeah. But you talked about how you love
economics for the win though. I really enjoy economics. Oh well.
Sure.
That's fine.
Sure. Sujin, I'm sure Sujin loves econ.
Oh yeah, Sujin loves econ.
Nah, Sujin. Wait.
But I mean, my econ teacher said like he asked because Corona is affecting so many economies around the world. We talk about Corona a lot, and he asked us, you know, whether to sacrifice human. Okay, I don't want to word it like this because it seems like I don't value like human lives, but like he was like, would you sacrifice a couple of lives in comparison to, you know, like an economy just collapsing? And when you like word it like that, you know,
I don't know.
You just can't. Yeah.
Because like I can't help. I see everything as just a social construct at the end of the day. So like in truth, the economy and like the whole thing. It's what keeps the like countries like Japan and like the US running and stuff.
Yeah.
But it is all a social construct. Like money is all a social construct.
Which is like like devastating in a way.
Yeah. Because like now we can't live without like money.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I also don't know the skills to live in the middle of the forest on my own. Like I would definitely die in like a week.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't. I don't.
So like this is like going a little bit personal, but like, you know how like I keep on talking about what I want to do in the future and whatever, and like being confused about it. And it's like because if I wanted to actually help people, I keep on thinking like what I need at the end of the day is just a lot of money, you know, money. Like I don't. Oh my god! I'm gonna sound so.
No, but it's true. Like,
but like money. Yeah, money solves everything. Like people don't realize how much money can literally solve anything. Like money can literally, you know,
solve
like
anything.
It can help poverty so much. It can literally stop poverty,
and hunger and
but like
it can solve
rich people don't do it, which is like So it's like, it is a social construct.
It's just a big, you know.
Yeah, it's just a big
I mean,
it is.
You could survive without money. Well, it'd be
no,
very hard.
We don't know now. We don't know how.
Yeah.
Income.
Like if I had my own garden, I could, and like but how would I get my water? I don't know.
Still
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you do, you need money.
Basically, in this world,
especially in see, I don't want to use the term developed or like developing countries and stuff, but in HICs in like, you know, countries with like economies, like because obviously there are still people in this world who live in tribes and stuff, or like, you know, there's even people who are uncontacted with modern society. So
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't know the skills to be able to do that.
And like I feel like
in this world,
in Brazil or something, there was like a tribe where like one of them got corona or something, and
yes.
like eventually they had to get treated, you know. And in order to get treated, they needed the money, which like just comes back to money again, which like is really like frustrating. But at the same time, it's what made this world like be this way, which isn't like the best thing. But like,
yeah, because it's either that or it's really just survival of the fittest. And
yeah,
there's this one tribe in India, like near Indonesia, but it's like island of India or whatever, and they're like completely not in contact. Like I think there was a helicopter that flew by that was trying to give them supplies, and they just like used bows and arrows and stuff to get like rid of them. And I think they also killed 2 people that were like on a boat that were trying to find out more about these people.
Yeah, I think I heard about them.
Totally, they like there's like a few like photos of them that were taken, but that's just it. Like no one knows anything about them. No one knows like there's
leave them alone. Leave them alone.
Yeah.
You don't need to contact them, especially since obviously
you know,
they're
like
not willing
when you think about it though, like we could technically just like drop everything and like start like going to a park and like, you know, take like the wood like from the trees and stuff. But like at this point, we live in Tokyo and we're in Tokyo, which means climbing on top of a tree is probably illegal for someone to do over
really
the
illegal?
age of 13. Yeah,
Seriously?
I think so. No. I know this one park.
You can climb it, but you'll definitely get busted.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and if you cut down a tree, you'll probably get arrested.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, whatever we do, we're just gonna get arrested. So, again, the moral of the story is we need money.
But like, there's nowhere to live anyways with wood. I bet you need wood in Tokyo. You know what I mean?
Do we have any final thoughts on future of Corona?
I'm just scared that things won't go back to normal.
Wait,
I mean, we can't go back to normal because it's
No, I just feel like people will start living with it and like not care about it. And just they become a part of our daily lives. That's just
especially in like some other countries like the US and stuff. Like going back to normal and like in air quotes is if the previous normal wasn't working and stuff.
But like I think like this idea of like this idea we have right now of like, you know, having to live with Corona. I think it's only places like Japan or like South Korea and like those places which can do that, because like in America there's no like the states, they cannot live with Corona at this point. Like their GDP is just decreasing on a daily basis. Their like cases are just skyrocketing like all the time, and just for them that it's something they can't just deal with all the time. But I think in Japan there is a lot of consequences, but for us it just seems like the consequences aren't just too big in comparison to other countries. Hence we are able to have like the capacity to say, I guess we can live with it, those kind of things. So for like
out of curiosity, how does everyone here know somebody or know of somebody or know somebody who knows somebody who has or had Corona?
No.
I know like 3 people
in Italy. They show
my relatives.
No, 2's in Italy, 1's in the US.
Oh, you have someone you know in the US?
Yeah, I'm American. Don't know I said like that, but I am American.
You've like never been there.
What happened?
No, I don't know the person. I've never met the person, but it's my dad's.
Is your dad?
My My dad's.
Yeah.
My relatives got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Damn.
Are they okay?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good.
I don't
My
even
dad-
know anyone though.
How? You have like the most connections, I feel like.
But impressive.
yeah.
Corona is so smart. I don't get it. I don't get how
But
it's like
it's
spreading or whatever.
I don't know anybody in Japan
My
Yeah.
my
except
dad's
celebrities.
best friend's mom was on the Diamond Princess, the cruise ship, and
Oh.
my dad's best friend's parents both got it. The mom was in ICU, intensive health.
Oh, intensive
Okay.
health. Wait,
Intensive
what's
care
ICU?
unit. Intensive care unit. Yeah.
ICU, yeah. But the dad is okay. I think the mom is still recovering, but yeah.
Damn. And like again with the corona thing being like smart, the recovery time for like people is so different, which is so
Yeah.
interesting. Like the people with like really severe symptoms just like are in bed for like 3 months straight. And there's like people who's like considered light symptoms who's like also just in their house for like 3 months straight because they have like coughs and like stuff, and it's just
Yeah, it varies so much. It can
Yeah,
be
it
like
varies
very
so
intense
much.
and very short, or it could be like very mild but very
long.
prolonged.
Yeah.
So it's hard to pinpoint like what exactly it is or like what it does
Yeah.
to you.
Let's just hope it gets better somehow. Like either we all just really just all adapt to it, like
I hope I just
Or-
get it and then be fine with it. And my
Oh, no,
parents
but
also
no, I hope you don't
it
get
and
it.
be fine with it.
I hope you
No,
don't
no,
get
no. Even if you get it
I
again.
hope no one gets it.
it. Yeah, you can still
That-
get it again.
Yeah, the
Like,
antibodies aren't like
Oh yeah.
and also,
stuff.
if it mutates again, then that's a whole other thing.
yeah. So at the end of the day, we just need the vaccines, you know.
Yeah.
literally
Even the vaccine
need-
probably won't be like foolproof, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
there'll
that's
be some
true.
like loopholes to it and like
Yeah.
I
And they're
just
trying
hope
to make the vaccine so quickly. Like, I wonder if it's going to be like fully effective or like just like 80% effective for
Yeah.
people or
Yeah.
something.
So hopefully we could just get like a bigger understanding of what coronavirus really is and
Yeah.
like what all of this thing is.
hopefully it's better. The whole global situation is just better and more under control by the time we go to uni.
Yeah.
Really selfish, but I really just hope by then it'll be better.
Hopefully
As
when we
soon as
listen to
possible,
this
basically.
in a year time, we're
I'll
like,
be like, oh yeah.
yeah.
I'm sure COVID or Corona will stay in the human discourse forever, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be. Yeah.
Probably.
I hope like we have vaccines and like I don't know, we all adapt to a way. I know we can't just adapt overnight, but
Yeah.
the human
Soon.
population adapt to a way where it'll be like the influenza. Well, we kind of view it like the influenza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's
Anyway, that's it from us.
Yeah.
For today.
Episode 2.
Yeah.
COVID-19.
Sorry for the bit of a
Tune
sad
in.
topic, but relevant and prevalent.
It's super
Necessary.
relevant. Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
Fighting, everyone. Fight
Like-
off.
Someone could be like listening to this in like 100 years and be like using this as a primary resource for their research topic on COVID-19.
That's like kind of
That would be
worrying because
so
this is all just stuff.
interesting.
That's worrying because this is all just stuff on the top of our heads.
And we
I
don't
mean,
even know.
they need opinions to a certain
And
extent.
experience.
so-
Yes.
If you're
I mean-
watching this and listening to this in 100 years.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
Good luck with your research project.
The account of
I feel so bad
517.
for people that are going to have to
Yeah.
like write papers on COVID
Yeah.
and learn like history about COVID.
All the history students in 10 years time. Sorry for adding more stuff, more content to cover.
Oh no.
Well,
Good
good
luck,
luck.
Yeah,
Good luck. It would be
What is-
really interesting to learn about it.
What is an essential worker? Stuff like that. Or like the measures that governments took.
Ooh, yeah.
Examine the measurements taken by governments.
Evaluate the effectiveness of the measures implemented by government.
The IB people are shaking right now.
Yeah.
in response to a global
All these
pandemic.
command terms.
Yeah.
In conclusion,
All right.
it wasn't that effective. You're welcome. But we'll
The
see.
whole-
maybe they'll get better.
Yeah.
It's not effective right now.
Okay.
So, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
3. Okay.
Oh,
Bye.
3, 2,
Bye.
1. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Love you.
Boy.
Love you.
So coordinated.